Welcome to Beyond the Page, the official podcast of Choice, the magazine of professional coaching, where we bring you amazing insights and in-depth features that you just won't find anywhere else. I'm your host, Gary Schleifer, and I'm excited to expand your learning as we dive into this latest article, have a chat with this brilliant author beside me, and uncover the learnings that are transforming the coaching world. When you have a chance, join our vibrant community of coaching professionals as we explore groundbreaking ideas, share expert tips and techniques, and as we like to say in the coaching profession, make a real difference in our clients' lives. That's what we love to do. It's your go-to resource for all things coaching. But for now, let's dive in. In today's episode, I'm speaking with executive coach Doreen Steenland, who is the author of an article in our latest issue, Coaching in Chaos. Her article is entitled The Conscious Leader, Coaching for Embodied Leadership in a Reactive World. A little bit about Doreen. She's an RN. She's got a PCC, executive coach, facilitator, and author with more than 3 decades of experience in high pressure medical and organizational environments. Obviously, as an RN, she's a former registered nurse. Uh, Doreen, are you a nurse for life or are you a former nurse?
You're always a nurse. Once a
That's
nurse,
what I
always a
figured.
nurse.
Okay. Her work focuses on helping leaders build applied emotional intelligence, presence, and decision-making capacity in complex systems. Grounded in applied neuroscience, trauma-informed leadership, and professional coaching standards, she works with senior leaders, coaches and organizations navigating sustained stress, rapid change, and organizational disruption. Her approach emphasizes embodied leadership, nervous system awareness, and practical application under real world pressure. Oh, Doreen, thank you so much for joining me today. I normally would have asked what inspired you to write an article for us, but it's like your life, the way I'm reading it, right?
Yes, yeah. So for a lot of years, I have been working with the nervous system, formally and informally, because
Mm.
in high stress situations, uh, the nervous system is what kicks in first, right? So the more we can become aware of what's happening inside, the higher functioning we can become on the outside.
Wow, well said.
Yeah.
Well
Yeah.
said. Well, in your article, you talk about leaders and what they're going through and the whole
Mm-hmm.
situation with chaos has become, as they say, the new normal. It's not a
Yes.
one and done, it just stays. Why do so many highly intelligent and experienced leaders still struggle to access what they already know under pressure?
Yeah. So what happens is that we feel pressure inside, we feel some sensation, and most of us have trained ourselves to stuff that down and self abandon.
Mm,
And we rely on our old autopilot responses, right? So, the autopilot is not a bad thing. The brain functions and it's actually helpful for us, but it's only helpful when those patterns are still useful,
mm.
right? Like some of our patterns that we've learned in the past are no longer serving us. So when we're reacting from those patterns that no longer serve us, we kind of disconnect from ourselves in the middle of that pressure. And so a lot of the work that I do is I help leaders to regain access to their wisdom, presence, and choice. And so it's interesting that I wrote for Choice magazine because
Exactly.
right we
Yeah.
we want to be able to have choice in those high stress moments, so that we can, instead of reacting from a state of possibly dysregulation, an old pattern that's running its loop, so that we can respond in a way that affects the people around us
Mm.
in a positive way instead of a negative way, because we know from neuroscience that there's mirror neurons in our brain, and what we are presenting in a room gets transmitted. This is called emotional contagion. And so the more we can show up as a grounded, centered presence, the more we're going to affect our society, our world, our offices, our hospitals, wherever we're serving. We can influence that for positive. Yeah.
Yeah. And you bring up a really good point, because then I'm left wondering, like, how do they, like, I'm going to read something you wrote, and then I'll carry on.
Okay.
Most leaders are capable, many are experienced, yet breakdowns persist, not because leaders lack skill or intelligence, but because they're being asked to lead from nervous systems under continuous strain. So I guess the question for me is, what you said is kind of like when it happens. But what's that next level of help or coaching that we can offer them when it's a continuous pressure on the system, when chaos is always there?
Yeah. So part of the work that I do is really about embodiment coaching. And so what is embodiment coaching? It's closing the gap between being and doing.
Mm,
And it's activating the body to unlock new ways of being, of experiencing our environment. And we do it through pattern recognition, state and trait management, nervous system regulation, using somatic practices, and a lot of self awareness, right? This allows us to tap into the wisdom that's already inside of us. We can change our body's patterns, and our thinking patterns will then follow. And
mm,
so most of us as coaches, we rely a whole lot on the cognitive part of our job, right? We want to
right.
change people's thoughts. We want to change, but what we're missing potentially is the other integrated intelligence that exists inside of us. We know from a neuroscience standpoint that there's interoception. It's what's happening inside of us, right? The sensations that we respond to. There's exteroception. It's like what's happening outside of us. What are we sensing? What are we smelling? What are we hearing? What are we touching? All of those things are affecting our reactions and our responses. Proprioception, like where our body is in space right now, right? And then there's the emotional, which we tend to shy away from as coaches. But here's where the gold lies, okay? Because emotion is the bridge between the embodied and the conceptual. And if we could just embrace that sensations are just a normal part of life, right? We can then tap into a deeper level in our clients and make lasting changes. Because all of that embodied stuff is happening at the subconscious level, right? We have clients that can come and they can tell us, yes, I need to rest. I need self-care. They will recite the prescription.
Yeah, we know what to do.
We know what to do, right? So this work helps us engage at a deeper level what we already know in our heads to our hearts and our bodies and our hands so that we're actually living it out.
I love that. The difference between being and doing. I did a personal development course back in the late 90s, and we had distinctions about being versus doing.
Mm,
I'm also going to quote what you wrote in the article. Being a conscious leader does not mean being calm at all times, nor does it mean being above emotional response.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's interesting is, we're being flooded now with information from the internet. People have got neuroscience tips up the gazoo, right? Anywhere you look, anywhere you look, we've got these fast neuroscience resets, right? And what they're missing is that there's a deeper level of work that needs to be done. It's not always about being calm. They would say, like, we want to become. No, emotions, the full range of emotions what we're talking about when we're talking about really embodiment coaching is building in state and trait changes, right? So these trait changes are really just who we're becoming
Mm.
when there's fire added to us, right? so so instead of just being calm all the time, we can have the emotion of anger and get curious, like, what is that anger trying to inform us, right?
Right.
Maybe the company values are being trampled upon, right? Maybe there's a personal value that's being poked, right?
Yeah.
It's just inviting curiosity. And when we can be present, when the outside world is spinning faster, we can be present with our inside self. We can gain that wisdom. Now, MIT and the Presencing Institute is really taking this deeper.
Mm.
They're saying that, when the outside world is spinning faster and faster, it requires courage from us to slow down so we can notice what's emerging around us, right?
Mm.
And this work takes it deeper because we're then sensing into what's happening around us, and we're
Yeah.
able to tap into intuition. And that kind of scares us as coaches too, because we don't really know how to explain all of it, right?
Oh, goodness, no. Which is why sometimes we used to say, oh, it's very woo-woo. But
Yes,
but you're tapping into those things like intuition. Yeah.
right. Like, so why are some leaders so exceptional
Hmm.
and others are, just doing the status quo? What makes them exceptional is that they're tapping into their intuition, the wisdom, like the felt sense that something in this meeting is emerging and I need to create space for that instead of just going through the itinerary, right?
Hmm.
They're moving with their environment and open to learning and being curious, and they're not fearful of what's going to show up,
Mm.
right? they
It,
they
it sounds like what it takes to be a coach and an
Yes,
NCC, not being afraid of what's showing up, honoring the
yes,
space.
right,
Yeah.
yes. And we talk a lot about presence as coaching, right? And presence isn't something we do, it's something we are,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
It looks
when
like and sounds like and it's practiced as doing, but it's a very
Yes,
being state.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And
And
Doreen, I really love what you said earlier too about leaders getting grounded.
mhm,
There's a lot of talk about like how can I stop and take the time to get grounded? Well, how can you afford not to? Because the cost is too high, but sometimes it takes a while for them to see that. A friend of mine, Janet Harvey, says a pause gives more than it takes.
yes. Oh, that resonates with me so much.
Oh, so same here.
I mean, we are just so accustomed to speed and urgency driving everything. We're in a microwave culture, right? That's where we are. Let's face it. So
Instant
we want
gratification.
fast action,
Yeah.
fast. And when we are reacting from this state of urgency, we're missing so much. When we can
Mm.
just slow ourselves down, we can create from what's happening around us instead of allowing those strong patterns of the past to control us, right? Look, the brain is going to reward us for predictability. It loves predictability, right? So it'll
Yeah.
say, okay, you've done it like this in the past and it works. So let's just keep doing that, right? It it requires real leadership to sit with that discomfort that the urgency is bringing
Right.
and be able to notice it and say, I wonder what this is all about. in the middle instead of reacting. Maybe it's inviting your team to step into that uncertainty too. Look, I'm feeling a lot of big emotions here. I'm feeling a lot of energy. Can we just take a moment and pause
Mm,
and see what emerges, right? Like
right.
if we started doing that as leaders, we can really impact the world. I believe that this is ground zero for us as leaders, as world changers, that we can learn to embrace the uncertainty and get comfortable being uncomfortable. It's true in coaching, it's true in leadership, it's true in the world. The best leaders are not uncomfortable when there's something new emerging. They're
Wow.
curious.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting because you're one of the things I was considering asking you was the talking about the difference between a leader who's performing confidence and a leader who's leading from internal authority. And I think you're kind of, it was in your article, and I think you're kind of alluding to that now. Expand on that concept for me.
Yeah, so when you have internal authority, you're not abandoning yourself. You're not abandoning the sensations. You're not stuffing them down. You're not trying to push aside the emotions and just get through this day, get through this meeting. How many of our clients, I just have to get through this next project? How many times do they say that, right?
Yeah.
When we have internal authority, we're able to pause and allow whatever's happening to be there
Yeah.
without having to change it, right? It's not something that we're trying to push away. And
Mm.
most leaders that I know are living their life just stuffing everything down, right?
Yeah.
So when we
And
are
what's the
working
cost,
from
right?
this, I mean, this is really the work that I do. I restore people's internal authority, right?
Oh, wow.
That is kind of how I help people because all of these high capacity leaders, they've got skills. They know how to solve problems. What they don't know is how to connect with themselves in the middle because they've spent years pushing all that aside.
And then I want to connect back to because I got really excited about where you said that they're afraid to honor the emotions. And
Yes.
and yet that's such a gold mine, as you said, of information and opportunity. I
Yes.
love it when that comes up because
Yeah.
there's the values thing, right?
Yes.
Unfulfilled expectations lead to
Mm-hmm.
upset. So what else is possible? So giving them different ways to frame or reframe or think about taking a step back to move forward, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's those 5 areas of integrated intelligence I talked about earlier, and I want to credit Amanda Blake, who's a big wig in the somatic world.
And
Um,
he is, yes.
yeah. So Amanda Blake talks about these 5 pathways of integrated intelligence, right? And as coaches, we stick with the cognitive most times, and so we've got to start tapping into the interoception, the exteroception, the proprioception, and the emotion, and bring that into our coaching so that our clients can have deeper transformation, deeper access to choice, right?
Yes. We
Yeah.
love everyone having access to choice, but the other one
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's great. Well said. Yeah, Mandy's written for us before,
Yeah.
and we hope you write for us again too. Just we'll put
Thank
that in
you.
there, putting that out there already.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. I'd be honored. Mandy has influenced me for the last decade. I feel like her work has been groundbreaking, and now there are so many people doing that deeper work of somatic and embodied leadership.
Mhm.
I'm just so excited about it. It's impacted my clients.
Doreen, I can hardly tell. You're literally leaping out of your chair. Okay, you
I'm
know that,
sorry.
right?
I
No,
can't
I
contain
no.
it.
There's no apologies requested here. merely an observation. You're in your joy
Yes.
zone. So,
Yes, I am. I really am. And I love the work that I get to do. I love that I get to be with ICF New Jersey and walk alongside coaches, helping them apply neuroscience to their coaching. That brings me joy. Yeah, so this is the work I love to do. This is what I
yeah.
was created for.
Now, this is kind of putting you on the spot, but do you have any examples of the impact of your work?
Yeah, so I think, most people will know that they need to set boundaries,
Mm.
right?
It's one of those things that everybody knows how that they need to do and how to do it, but they don't
That's
do it.
right. But they don't know how to tap into the discomfort that they're feeling when that boundary is about to be crossed.
Right.
I mean, this is a huge thing that I work with the body, and it just comes up naturally. It's not about um, uh, our clients not knowing how to set boundaries. They know they need to say no, and
They know they
yet
need to.
they know they need to, and yet they're urgency and that sensation in their body is driving them to say yes. So they're not having these full bodied yeses, right?
Mm.
Because, and then afterwards, they say yes and they have regret, right? I want to help people not live with regret, right? I want them to
Yeah.
experience full body yeses, full body no's, and be okay with that discomfort.
Oh, are you aware of the book Power of a Positive No?
Oh no, I'm going to have to get that.
Oh,
My,
well, you're already speaking to that songbook.
yeah.
And it's about having an empowering yes, an empowering no, and another, it's a yes, no, yes model.
Ah,
And
yes.
I've been practicing it, so I'm not an expert in it, but
Mm-hmm.
basically it's around those same things about saying, yes, I agree that's an important, but no, in light of this other priority I have going on. And then yes, how can we renegotiate? So it's
Yeah.
basically what you're saying. So yeah, I
Right.
love those
And this
conversations.
this is just one example, right?
Yeah.
It go
Yeah.
when I help people restore their internal authority, that's just one tiny example of embodiment that feels uncomfortable. We
Mhm.
are functioning in discomfort all day and we're not noticing it, we're pushing it aside. So what I help people do is really build their range so that they can be psychologically flexible. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, and well said. I like that
Yeah.
term.
Yeah.
Psychologically flexible.
Yeah.
Wow. So what else, final words, what else would you have wanted to say maybe that you didn't get in the article or something that you really want people to walk away with from our call or the article?
I think what I really want people to understand is presence, that's steady, changes a room, changes the dynamic of a room, changes the world that we live in. And I feel like we need to become more in tune with ourselves so that we can affect the world around us. I've been saying this for decades. We need to connect to affect, not just with other people, but with ourselves.
Mm. Interesting you should say connection. That's one of the sources of joy
Yes,
is connection.
yes, yes,
Purpose, meaning, uh, values, connection, community.
yes. Beautiful. And pressure, the pressure in our world doesn't really create who we become. It just
Mhm.
reveals the patterns that are
Oh,
underneath the
can it
surface.
reveal? Can it reveal a lot?
Right? Like the question isn't whether they're capable or not, right? The question
Yeah.
is, can you still access yourself when it matters most?
Oh,
When the pressure is higher.
and finding out who the real self is sometimes
Yes.
they've
Oh,
never uncovered. And they're like, oh, wow, I never knew that about myself.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is what we do as coaches, right? We're just shining a light on the places that are hidden
Yeah.
beneath the surface.
Peeling away the onion.
There you go.
And there's crying involved.
Yeah.
And I have no fear about that. It's actually a blessing to be working with someone that feels that comfortable with you that they can openly cry in the conversation.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's not about you, it's about what's going on for them. And to be witness to that emotion, it goes back to the conversation about emotion, is an honor. It's an honor.
Yes.
And then I jokingly had a hand a Kleenex through the screen, but that's just me and my sense of humor.
And it's so interesting because like the the best coaching conversations, as a coach, we walk away feeling like we didn't do anything. We walk away feeling like we didn't say much, right? But
Yeah.
the client comes back and says, that was the
Ah,
best.
isn't that crazy?
And you walk away feeling insecure. You're like, I really didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, we created space for what was underneath the surface to come to the surface.
Yeah. Oh, Doreen, I've had calls where I'm like, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. And at the end I say, so what are you taking away from today's call? Right?
Yes.
This was like to your point, this was an amazing call. And I'm like, and I was just present. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Just so they knew I was still alive.
Yeah.
But and then hearing them say sometimes, wow, I've never told anyone else that.
Yes.
Right? So that's when you know you're helping them peel away and revealing and supporting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
we could go on and on. Doreen,
Yes, we could.
thank you so much for writing for us. Don't be a one-hit wonder. Come on back anytime. And for being on our podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed this, learned as I always want to do. I love to tell people these podcasts and articles are for my learning, and they just happen to be the lucky recipient. Okay. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you so
Doreen,
much for
what?
having me. Yeah.
Oh, our pleasure. What's the best way to reach you?
DoreenSteenland.com. That's
Oh, that's easy.
my name. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Super easy. All
Super
right.
easy. There's an internal authority assessment there if you want to
Oh,
see which which area you might need to grow in. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a great offer, everyone.
Yeah.
And Doreen, I was about to say Noreen, DoreenSteenland.com.
Yes. Yeah.
Lots of E's and a
Yes.
D at either end. I like that.
Yes. Love it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Thank you, Gary.
That's it for this episode of Beyond the Page. For more episodes, subscribe via your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Apple, whatever, or go to our website, choice-online.com/podcasts. If you're not a subscriber to Choice Magazine, you can sign up, and you're watching this video, you can sign up for your free digital issue by scanning the QR code in the top right corner of our screen. If you're listening to this on audio, please pull over the car, get off the treadmill, get off the bike, and go to choice-online.com and click the Sign Up Now button. I'm Gary Schleifer. Enjoy the journey of mastery.